Happy Tuesday. We got a huge 16 game slate. Let's talk some baseball. What's going on, everyone? Welcome back in to another episode for Just a Bet Outside. I am your host, Steven, and we are back with a real slate. That's right, 16 games. We got a lot to get into. Yesterday, 1-on-1 day. We take the split. We'll go over that in the recap in a little bit. That was an ugly 9-game slate, but it is Dinger Tuesday again. That's right. Leave a comment below with your favorite home run prop. You must include the sportsbook and the odds that you found it to have a chance to win, because the higher odds will win. Plus 800 wins over plus 600, etc., etc. Tie-in odds goes to the longest home run hit. So we got Outlier. Any graphics you see in this video are from Outlier. Any graphics you see in the MLB, NFL, and NBA videos, all from this tool, because it's the best betting research tool on the market. I use it every single day. Click the link below. You get a 7-day free trial. So I got 3 quick hitting dad jokes. How about that? Because they're all just kind of okay. Maybe put together they make one good joke. I don't know. We'll see. So here we go. What's a cow with no legs called? Ground beef. There was a circus fire. It was intense. There was a king who was 12 inches tall. He was a great ruler. Alrighty, in this video, we're going to recap yesterday and then go over the good and bad hitter matchups, the best pitcher strikeout matchups, the entire 16-game pitcher report, and then, of course, we will finish it with the best bets and the recap. So hit that like button if you haven't already. Leave a comment below to help this channel continue to grow. If you're new to the channel, you know what to do. Come join this awesome community. Hit that subscribe button as we are winding down the MLB season. So let's get it rolling, and that means it's recap time. All right, there it is. They won in one day on Monday. Spencer Strider under 17.5 outs. I'm going to be honest, guys. I still like the read. He started with a 6-pitch first inning. 6 pitches, 3 outs. It was all uphill from there. I knew after that inning it was going to be tough. And still, he needed just almost 90 pitches to get through 6 innings, even though the Nats didn't do too much. The big one, other than the first inning, was a bases loaded. They were getting to him. Ground ball, double play, end of inning. It kills you. But either way, we lost. Under 4.5 the first 5 innings. Chicago, Pittsburgh. Cubs try to make it a little scary, but for the most part, it was a pretty easy winner there. I think it was 3-0 maybe after 5 innings. So that's what we got for the recap on Monday. Now let's talk some hitter matchups. All right, there it is. 14 good hitter matchups for you today, including Eugenio Suarez, 15 for 33, 5 extra base hits, and 2 ding-dongs off of Michael Wacha. Chapman, 8 for 21. Yandy Diaz, you see there. Nolan Arenado, 8 for 18 with a couple home runs off of Andrew Abbott. You keep going down the list. Salvador Perez, 6 for 16 with 2 home runs off of Logan Gilbert, including Bobby Witt, who's also 6 for 12 off Logan Gilbert. Both hitting them pretty well. Teoscar, you see there, 5 for 9 off Christopher Sanchez. Pretty impressive there. And then you got a couple Red Sox against Jeffrey Springs. You finish it with Jose Ramirez, 4 for 7 with 2 Jimmy Jacks off of Casey Mize. So that's what we got for the good hitter matchups. Now let's take a look at the bad ones. Matt Olson, 2 for 13. Adames, 0 for 13 with 6 Ks off the lefty Eduardo Rodriguez. You see Cal Raleigh there, 0 for 12, 3 Ks off of Michael Wacha. Jordan Walker, 0 for 10, 4 Ks. And then Fig Newton, 1 for 10, 5 Ks off of Andrew Abbott. So that's what we got for the hitter matchups. Now let's talk some Ks. All right, we got 2 good pitcher strikeout matchups, starting with fastball Freddie Peralta versus the Angels. This Angels team is striking out an absolute crap ton lately. They have the highest K rate versus righties, over 31%. You see Peralta there, great numbers, 25 Ks in his last 16 innings, 6+ Ks in 8 of his last 10. He has a slightly higher K rate at home, 28.4% compared to 26.7 on the road, and a 35.3% K rate versus right, or 30.1% K rate versus righties, and a 25.2% versus lefties. It's a great matchup there. Like I said, I think 3 of the last 4 righties, all Mariner pitchers, had 11+ Ks against the Angels. Chris Sale at the Nationals. I believe this is game 2 of their doubleheader. Nats, how about the highest K rate versus lefties? So the 2 matchups, we have the highest K rate versus righties and the highest versus lefties. 30.8%. Sale, 141 Ks in 107 innings. And he has an insane 9+ Ks in 5 of his last 6 starts. When he came back from injury, he picked up right where he left off. Almost identical home road K splits and the exact same righty-lefty splits. That's how good he is. It doesn't matter who he faces or where he faces them. So that's what we got for the 2 best pitcher strikeout matchups. Now let's take a look at the pitcher report. All right, here are the first 8 matchups of the day. All the averages are on the bottom. We like to give this out every single day to help you out all season long. We start out with Joey Cantillo against Casey Mize. Cantillo, the lefty, pitched really well in his last 4 starts, giving up 1 or less earned run in all 4. Casey Mize, he's really struggled in the second half, but he has made back-to-back good starts now, going 11 total innings and giving up 9 hits and just 3 earned runs. And then the pitching matchup of the day, Cade Horton versus Paul Skeens. Horton, what more can I say? The main goal of pitching is to not give up runs, and he's doing that. He has given up just 5 earned runs in his last, wait for it, 53.1 innings. Insane. Paul Skeens heading towards an NL Cy Young. This is the NL Rookie of the Year versus the NL Cy Young in this matchup. This will be Skeens' 5th start versus the Cubs since getting promoted last year to the majors. He's done pretty well. Cubs got to him a little bit in 2 of them, but we'll see what happens here. And then Jeffrey Springs versus Early. Springs struggling a little bit lately in his last few starts, giving up 30 hits and 16 earned runs in his last 26.2 innings. And then Early, in his MLB debut, he went 5 shutout innings, striking out 11 at the A's. So only his 2nd start. We will see what happens here. Michael King versus Clay Holmes. King, this will be just his 3rd start since May 18th. Just been battling injury after injury this year. In his last start, he went 63 pitches, giving up 2 earned runs on 3 hits and 5 innings versus the Reds. Again, not a guy who I think is going to throw 90, 95 pitches and go 7 innings or anything at this point. And then Clay Holmes struggled in his last 2 starts, going just 4.2 and 4 innings, not giving the team a lot of length. He's given up a total of 6 earned runs and 11 hits in those 8.2 innings with 6 walks. And as we've talked about all season long, his K rate was up there in the 24%, and then it just kept dwindling down lower and lower and lower as the season went on. He's at his career high of innings by far. Jose Barrios versus Pepe Le Pew. Barrios hasn't looked good, but he has managed to give up 2 or less earned runs somehow in 4 of his last 5 starts. So you can't say he's looked terrible. Obviously, he's limiting runs. He has 4 less Ks in 4 of his last 5, though. That K rate is dropping as well. And then Le Pew, first start in 12 days, but he has been really good lately. 15 consecutive scoreless innings. I forgot why they pushed his start back. I don't remember if it's an injury or a sickness or what it was. But Logan Gilbert versus Waka Waka. Gilbert starting to look more like himself in his last 2 starts. How about giving up 10 hits, 2 earned runs with 15 Ks and 2 walks? He is a guy who has struggled on the road. That needs to change as a Mariner fan. Waka, been pretty consistent this season, giving up 2 or less earned runs in 8 of his last 10 starts now. And then Kramer versus Smith. Kramer been hit or miss lately, giving up 0, 6, 7, and 0 earned runs last 4. So it's either getting crushed or dominating. Only threw 56 pitches in his last start, too, just a heads up. And then Smith, giving up 2 or less earned runs in 5 straight home starts. So he's been pitching really well in Chicago. And then Schlittler versus Zebby Matthews. We're going to talk about that one in a little bit. So that's what we got for page 1. Now let's move on to page 2. And we got Dana versus Peralta. Dana has given up 4 home runs in 15.2 innings. I told you guys this before his first start. He stunk in AAA, and I don't think he's very good in the minors. I don't think he's good in the majors so far. He does have a good K rate, 26.8%, but look at that 15.5% walk rate. Already, like I said, giving up 4 home runs with that 2.3 home runs per 9. Freddie Peralta, after 5 straight shutouts, he's finally struggled, giving up 5 earned runs at a red-hot Texas team, but he still had 9 Ks in that one. He has been awesome this year. Andrew Abbott versus McGreevy. We will talk about that one later as well. And then Merrill Kelly versus Bluba, I think is how you say it. Kelly, he just gave up 10 hits and 3 earned runs last start, but it was against the Brewers. Overall, having a solid season, as you see there. And then Bluba will not be going deep. He has thrown 42, 40, and 19 pitches the last 3 appearances, so he'll give him a couple innings probably. And then Yuri Perez versus Kyle Freeland. Perez is straight Tom Petty lately. I mean, he is absolutely free-falling. He has given up an insane 27 earned runs in his last 31 innings. That is not good. And now he's going to Coors Field. Kyle Freeland, been okay. I mean, giving up 6 earned runs in his last 19.2 innings. That's like Randy Johnson for the Rockies right now. And then TBD for the Giants. Facing the lefty, Eduardo Rodriguez. Rodriguez giving up just 1 earned run in his last 18.1 innings. Starting to pitch a little better. He's also gone 6 or more innings in 5 of his last 6 starts. And then Christopher Sanchez versus Shohei Ohtani. Quite the matchup here. Sanchez, 3 straight starts of exactly 1 earned run allowed. Again, top 5 pitcher in the NL, easily top 3. Shohei Ohtani threw 70 pitches last start, but he's only gone 5 innings 1 time, so he's not a guy who's going to go deep into games. Still missing some bats, but been a little shaky as a pitcher. And then TBD for the Braves against Jake Irvin of the Nats. Irvin is horrendous. How about 3+ earned runs in 6 straight? And most of those are actually 4+ for earned runs. He is, I mean, we're talking a 5.7 ERA, and he's still throwing 162 innings. They just keep putting him out there every fifth day. Chris Sale, Mackenzie Gore. I believe this one is game 2. I've seen some different ones, so be sure to check that. But Sale has been just so incredibly good. Even with giving up 3 earned runs in his last start versus the Cubbies, I mean, he hasn't been doing that much at all this year. 9+ Ks in 5 of his last 6 starts, like we talked about. And then Mackenzie Gore, second start since August 26th. Looked okay last start, giving up 2 earned runs in 5 innings at Miami. So that's what we got for the entire pitcher report and all the research help. Now it's time for those best bets. This first one takes us out to St. Louis, where the Cardinals host the Cincinnati Reds. Reds on the money line, -115. Cards money line, -105, with a total of 8 runs. I'm going right to that total. Give me the over 8 runs at -110 on FanDuel, 4.5 unit. I just really like this over here. Game 1 of the series, 11-6 final score. I don't think it's going to be that high, but we just need 9 to cash here. I know. You're welcome. I'm really good at math. Andrew Abbott versus Michael McGreevy is your starting pitcher matchup. Abbott, I've talked about him before. He's not that impressive to me right now. He's maybe wearing down a bit. Never a guy who you look at and go, man, that guy is overpowering hitters or anything like that. Relies on weak contact. Has a ridiculously low ground ball rate, 35% in the 12th percentile. He did okay last start versus the Cardinals, though. Gave up 2 earned runs in just 5 innings. This will be the 3rd time the Cardinals have seen him this year. You hope they can make some adjustments. McGreevy, he was a good form, or he had a good start last time against these Reds also. I'm counting on Cincy to make adjustments. We've seen it where two pitchers do well against one team, face them again a little bit later, and they struggle. That's what I'm counting on here. But he gave up 1 earned run in 6 innings in that one. That was in Cincinnati. Why does that matter? Because McGreevy at home has been flat out awful. 6.07 ERA, 3.01 average against, 1.42 whip in his last 5 home starts. 6 earned runs to the Giants, 4 earned runs to the Pirates, 3 to the Rockies, 0 to the Cubs. That was his one good start, and 7 earned runs to the Padres. It has not been pretty for him, and those aren't even elite offenses or anything. McGreevy also only has 7 Ks in his last 16 innings. Bullpens, I don't trust either right now. I mean, I trust them if you have an over, but I think we see a lot of runs off them like we already saw in Game 1. Offenses, Reds can be inconsistent. We know that. They could score 8, they could score 0. I know that's always a risk with them, but they've been average versus righties last 3 weeks, 18th WRC plus. Cardinals, 26 WRC plus versus lefties last 3 weeks. They haven't faced a ton. I'm not really too worried about their matchups and what I just saw, but they are averaging 4.5 runs per game when they face a lefty starter in the last 10 of those. Arenado obviously back in the lineup here, so I just think this is a low total against 2 pitchers, that are just kind of okay. I think both below average, 2 bullpens I don't trust, and some offenses that I think need to get going here. So give me the over 8 runs as my first best bet. This second one takes us out to the land of the tiny beverages, where the Minnesota Twins host the New York Yankees. Yanks moneyline -176, Twinkies moneyline +144, with a total of 9 runs. This one I'm not going to overthink. Sometimes I do that on bets. I'm just going to go with my gut and also what all the stats in this matchup says to me. Give me the Yanks on the run line. If you were burned by them on Monday, I know this sounds awful, but I like the Yanks -1.5 here. I got this at -105 on DK. The Yanks were absolutely awful in Game 1, but you know what? It wasn't that surprising for me. I didn't have the guts to take the Twins in that one. The Yankees were coming off a huge series against the Red Sox, coming off Sunday Night Baseball, traveling to Minnesota. It was an absolute letdown spot. So I'm not super surprised there. I think we see a bounce back here. This Yankees team usually dominates the Twins. Starting pitcher matchup, Cam Schlittler versus Zebby Matthews. Cam, this man has been solid. I trust him here versus Twins offense, especially on the road. How about a 1.99 ERA on the road in 22.2 innings, 195 average against, 106 whip, 27.5% K rate with a lower 8.8% K rate. Nasty off-speed pitches. He's been solid with his command. I like him to pitch well here. And then the Zebster. This guy's up and down. He faced the Yankees on August 11th. Gave up 6 hits, 3 earned runs in 5.2 innings. He's a guy who can leave pitches over the plate and get hit around. That's why you see a 10.3 hits per 9 innings this season on him. So even though he can miss some bats, I still like the Yankees to get the job done. And then bullpens, Yankees, I get it. Tough to trust, but they're rested at least in this one. Twins, they're even worse than the Yankees. So that's, again, that's why I'm taking this full game. And of course, we have the road team, which is a little easier to win by 2+ runs. So offenses, Yankees can score in bunches. I think this is a great bounce back spot after laying an absolute egg on Monday. Twins have had their moments, but this is not a lineup at all that scares me. Have a lot of guys just getting some reps in as youngsters, especially against Cam Schlittler. I think he's going to pitch really well, 6 innings or more. So give me the Yankees on the run line, -1.5 as my second best bet. This third one takes us out to Queens, where the Mets host the San Diego Fathers. Mets on the money line -114, Padres money line -105 with a total of 8 runs. I'm taking a side here. Give me the Padres on the money line. You know I'm not going to take the Mets. Anyways, -105 on ESPN bet for a half unit. Forget about the couple superstars the Mets have, the team name and everything. This team flat out sucks. I mean, they do. They're 2-8 in their last 10, 2-4 in their last 2 series at home against the Marlins and the Rangers. And now the starting pitcher matchup, Michael King versus Clay Holmes. Advantage Padres here. Michael King, he's a stud, but he's been dealing with injuries. So he's not exactly in his prime form, but he still looked good in his last start back. He gave up 2 solo home runs. Other than that, pretty much nothing. His stuff is nasty. He's yet to give up more than 3 earned runs in any of his 12 starts. Again, I know this is not the Michael King, of the year before because he's been battling injuries, but I still like what I'm seeing here. And then Clay Holmes, he's going to find bats. I'll tell you that. I think he's starting to wear down. First year as a full-time starter, giving up 8 earned runs in his last 13.2 innings. Last time he faced his Padres team, he only lasted 3.2 innings and gave up 8 hits. Not a guy who's going to go more than 4 or 5 innings, and neither is Michael King, and this is a huge part of my handicap. Both starting pitchers not going to go deep into this game. We should have 4 to 5 innings of bullpens battling it out. Give me the Padres in that situation. The Mets, it feels like they blow games late every day. It really does feel like that. I don't trust their arms. Padres, one of the best bullpens in the league, obviously. Pretty well rested here, ready to roll. Huge advantage for San Diego. So even if it's 2-2 tie after 5 innings, we go to the bullpens. I feel really good about it. Offenses, both have been top 10 offenses versus righties last 3 weeks. So for me, it just comes down to fading a Mets team that isn't good. They cannot find ways to win. They only find ways to lose. This is a team that might miss the playoffs altogether. They're almost 500. I mean, this team is broken, and they have been for a while. Now, does that mean they're going to lose this game because of it? It's one day. It's baseball. Anything can happen. But right now, I just like the better starting pitcher. I like the better bullpen at a great price here. So give me the Padres on the money line. That is my third and final best bet for the video. Again, no props yet, as you can see, but I'll probably add 1 or 2 props here in the morning as more come out. But that's what I got for you before we get out of here. Let's check out the recap. All right, there it is. My 3 best bets so far. Give me the over 8 in Cincy and St. Louis game. Yankees -1.5 and the Padres on the money line with more props probably coming in the morning. Thank you guys for watching. As always, we are winding down this extremely long MLB season heading into the playoffs. Hit that like button if you haven't already. Really appreciate the support. Hope you have a great Tuesday, and we'll talk to you soon.